What's up, Iron Warriors? Ever felt that nagging pain in your elbow that just won't quit? You know, that feeling like your arm's gonna explode every time you lift? Well, my friend, you might be dealing with epicondilitis, the infamous tennis elbow. But hold up, no need to panic. Here at Best Steel Muscles, we're always looking out to help you get jacked without getting wrecked. Today, I'm gonna show you how to dodge that annoying pain that's messing with your gains. So, if you want to learn how to bulletproof your elbows and take your workouts to the next level, stick with me till the end. Oh, and don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out the first pinned comment. There's a list of products that'll help you achieve that dream physique. Strong and healthy. Let's go. It's time to say goodbye to elbow pain and hello to gains. Alright folks, let's get the lowdown on this tennis elbow thing that's giving everyone at the gym nightmares. Picture this. You're there, pumping iron, when suddenly you feel a nasty pain on the outside of your elbow. Well, my friend, that might be tennis elbow knocking on your door. But chill, it's not the end of the world. Tennis elbow is basically inflammation of the tendons connecting your forearm muscles to the elbow bone. This happens when we overwork that area, you know? It's like you're tying your tendons in knots from pushing them too hard. It's called tennis elbow because tennis players struggle with it a lot. But don't be fooled, we gym rats are in the crosshairs of this pesky injury too. Now, what causes this in weightlifters? Well, usually it's too many repetitive movements, especially those involving wrist extension and forearm rotation. See why bench presses and rows can be the bad guys? Yeah, these exercises, when done wrong or excessively, can overload that elbow area. But that's not all. Sometimes, tennis elbow can result from a muscle imbalance. You know, when you focus too much on the front arm muscles and forget about the back? Well, that can leave your elbow vulnerable. Or maybe you're using weights that are too heavy without properly preparing your muscles to handle the load. The worst part is that this condition can be pretty sneaky. At first, you might just feel a slight pain after your workout, so you ignore it, thinking it's normal. But over time, this pain can become more intense and constant, to the point where it bothers you even in simple daily tasks, like picking up a coffee mug or shaking someone's hand. And don't think this is just a newbie lifter problem. Even the most experienced guys can suffer from tennis elbow if they're not careful. That's why it's so important to stay tuned to the signals your body sends, and always seek good guidance, whether from your gym instructor or a sports physiotherapist. So guys, the message here is clear. Respecting your body's limits is crucial. Tennis elbow is a pain, but you can avoid it with the right precautions. And remember, training hard is important, but training smart is even more so. After all, the goal is to get strong and healthy, right? Now that we know what this tennis elbow thing is all about, let's talk about the signs and symptoms so you can stay alert and not let this injury catch you off guard. You know that annoying pain that comes out of nowhere? Well, it could be the start of something more serious. Tennis elbow usually starts slowly, almost unnoticeably. You're there, doing your normal workout, and suddenly you feel some sensitivity on the outside of your elbow. At first, it might just be a mild discomfort, one of those things you don't even pay attention to. But don't be fooled, my friend. Ignoring these first signs can be a surefire way to a more serious injury. Over time, if you keep pushing it, this little pain can turn into a constant annoyance. That's when things get real. You might start feeling a sharp pain when you make certain movements, like extending your wrist or picking up something heavy. Imagine this. You're there, all pumped up to do that set of bicep curls, and bam! A stabbing pain in your elbow that feels like someone's sticking a needle in. Not cool, right? But it doesn't stop there. If the tennis elbow is really kicking in, you might feel weakness in your forearm, and even difficulty doing simple everyday tasks. Picking up a pen, opening a door, or even shaking someone's hand can become quite a challenge. And you know what's worse? This pain can spread, going down your forearm or up to your shoulder. It's like your whole arm is saying, "Dude, give it a rest." Another important sign to watch out for is stiffness. If you wake up in the morning and your elbow is stiff, hard to move, it could be a clear sign that inflammation is running wild. And don't think this only happens after your workout. Sometimes the pain can show up hours later, or even the next day, when you least expect it. Now here's the million-dollar question. When should you seek help? Well, if you've been feeling elbow pain for more than a week, even after taking it easy on your workouts, it's time to consult a professional. Same thing if the pain is so strong that it's messing with your daily activities or your sleep. You can't mess around with this stuff, folks. And there's more. If you notice swelling, redness, or warmth in the elbow area, or if the pain comes with fever or general malaise, run to the doctor. This could be a sign of something more serious going down. Always remember, your body is your tool in weightlifting. Ignoring these signs is like driving a car with the oil light on. Sooner or later, it's gonna blow up. So, stay sharp. Pay attention to the signals your body is sending, and don't hesitate to ask for help when you need it. After all, the goal is to get strong and healthy, right? So let's take care of that body to keep crushing those workouts. Now, let's talk about something super important: the risk factors in weightlifting that can lead you straight to tennis elbow town. You know that excitement of wanting to lift the world? Well, sometimes it can be our worst enemy. Let's start with the exercises, people. Some are real traps for those who aren't careful. The bench press, for example, that exercise everyone loves, can be a real villain if you don't do it right. When you lower the bar too low or let your elbows flare out too much, you're practically inviting tennis elbow to your party. And it doesn't stop there. Rows, another crowd favorite, can also be problematic if you go overboard with the weight or do them with your wrist too bent. Now let's talk about a cardinal sin of weightlifting: bad technique. My friend, there's no point in trying to impress the gym crowd by lifting a truck if your form is all messed up. That's a surefire recipe for disaster. When you do an exercise with poor technique, you're overloading precisely those areas that should be chilling, like your elbow. It's like you're punching a knife edge. You know what I mean? And there's more. The famous no pain, no gain mentality can also be a shot in the foot. You know those folks who think training every day without rest is the path to success? Well, they're inviting injury over for coffee. Your body needs time to recover, especially those sensitive areas like the elbow tendons. If you don't give it that time, it's like you're scraping a wound that's trying to heal. Another risk factor that many people forget is muscle imbalance. You know those people who only train what shows in the mirror? Well, that can be a big problem. If you only focus on the front arm muscles and forget about the back, you're creating an imbalance that can overload your elbow. It's like building a house with just a pretty facade. Eventually, the back will collapse. And we can't forget about the famous ego lifting. You know that guy who's always trying to increase the weight, even if he's not ready? Well, he's practically begging for an injury. Progressing is important, but it has to be at the right time and in the right way. Pushing the tendons too hard before they're prepared is asking to wake up with your elbow screaming in pain. Oh, and there's a factor that many people don't even imagine: everyday posture. Yeah, my friend, it's not just in the gym that you might be hurting your elbow. If you spend all day at the computer with your arm in a bad position, or hours and hours with your phone in your hand, you're putting constant stress on that area. It's like you're doing a mini workout all day, but in the worst possible way. Finally, we can't ignore genetics and age. Some of us were born with more sensitive tendons. That's life. And as we get more experienced, not to say older, our tendons also become less elastic and more prone to injuries. It's not an excuse to stop training, but it's a reminder for us to be smarter and more careful. So folks, the message is clear. Training heavy is important, but training smart is fundamental. Keep an eye on these risk factors, respect your body's limits, and always seek professional guidance. After all, the goal is to get jacked, but healthy jacked, right? It's time to talk about how to keep this tennis elbow far away from our workouts. Let's go, because preventing is 1,000 times better than treating. And I'm here to help you get jacked without getting hurt. First of all, let's talk about technique. My friend, there's no secret. Doing the exercise right is the foundation of everything. Imagine each poorly done rep is like a mini punch to your elbow. Eventually, it's going to hit back, and you won't like it one bit. So listen up. When you're doing bench press, keep your elbows at a 45-degree angle to your body. Don't let them flare out like chicken wings. For rows, control that movement. Don't let your wrist bend too much. It's better to do fewer reps, but do them right, than a bunch of half-assed ones. Now, let's talk about warming up. I know, everyone wants to get there and go straight for the heavy weights. But dude, giving your muscles and joints a good warm-up is like giving your engine a good oil change before a race. Do some light stretches, some wrist and elbow rotations, some exercises with a resistance band. It might seem silly, but this prepares your body for the battle ahead. And speaking of preparation, load progression is another crucial point. There's no use in trying to lift twice your weight from one week to the next. The body needs time to adapt. Increase gradually, like 5% every week or two. Your elbow will thank you, and your gains will be more consistent. Another important thing, exercise variation. You know that story about not putting all your eggs in one basket? Well, it's the same thing with training. If you keep hammering the same exercises, you're asking to overload the same tendons every time. Mix it up. Try different angles, different grips. This not only prevents injuries, but also boosts your results. And speaking of mixing things up, how about including some specific exercises to strengthen your forearm muscles? Simple things, like wrist rotations with light dumbbells or squeezing a tennis ball, can make a huge difference in preventing tennis elbow. Now here's a golden tip. Pay attention to your posture, and not just in the gym. How do you hold your phone? How's your arm positioned when you're at the computer? These little everyday things might be contributing to overloading your elbow without you even noticing. Adjust your workstation. Use ergonomic supports if you need to. It might seem trivial, but it makes all the difference. And speaking of things that seem trivial but are important, hydration and nutrition. Yeah, my friend, drinking water and eating right also helps prevent injuries. Well-hydrated tendons are more flexible and resistant, and a balanced diet, rich in proteins and nutrients, helps with recovery and strengthening of tissues. We can't forget about rest. I know the urge is to work out every day, to get huge fast, but hold your horses. Your body needs time to recover and get stronger. Give at least 1 day of rest between workouts for each muscle group. And don't neglect sleep, all right? It's during sleep that a good part of recovery and muscle growth happens. So no staying up all night scrolling through Instagram and then trying to make up for it with pre-workout. Last but not least, listen to your body. If you feel a little pain, some discomfort, don't ignore it. Sometimes taking it easy for a few days can prevent months of pain and frustration later. And if the pain persists, there's no shame in seeking professional help. A physiotherapist or a doctor specialized in sports medicine can give you personalized tips and even recommend specific exercises to prevent tennis elbow in your case. So that's it, folks. Following these tips, you're on the right track to keep your elbows happy and your gains consistent. Always remember, the goal isn't just to get strong. It's to get strong and healthy. Now let's put all this into practice and turn this knowledge into steel muscles. Time to talk about a subject that many people neglect, but which is crucial for keeping those elbows healthy and ready for action. Strengthening and mobility. Let's get it. First, I need you to understand something. Your elbow isn't an isolated part of the body. It works together with the wrist, forearm, and even the shoulder. So, to prevent tennis elbow, we need to strengthen this whole chain. Start with simple exercises, like wrist rotations with a light dumbbell. Seems easy, right? But do 3 sets of 15 reps and tell me later if you didn't feel that sweet burn. Now, let's talk about grip strength. You know that force you use to hold the bar? Well, strengthening that is essential. Grab a tennis ball or a hand grip and squeeze it. Do this while watching TV, on the bus, wherever you can. Your forearm will thank you, and it doesn't stop there. How about some wrist extensions? Rest your forearm on a surface. Let your hand hang off the edge and lift a light weight. Seems easy, but it makes a huge difference in preventing that annoying pain. But it's not just strength that the elbow lives on. Mobility is just as important. Ever heard of flossing? It's a technique that uses an elastic band to improve circulation and joint mobility. Wrap the band around your elbow and do some movements. It seems like magic how this can relieve tension. And speaking of relieving tension, how about some stretches? Stretch your arm in front of you, palm up, and pull your fingers back with the other hand. Hold for 30 seconds and repeat on the other side. Do this a few times a day, and you'll feel the difference. Now, let's talk about an exercise that's practically a superpower against tennis elbow, the hammer curl. Grab a dumbbell and do a curl, but with your palm facing your body, like you're holding a hammer. This strengthens the forearm muscles in a way that protects the elbow. Do 3 sets of 12 reps and thank me later. And don't forget about the triceps, all right? That famous tricep extension with the rope on the pulley is great for strengthening the back of the arm and giving more stability to the elbow. But hey, it's not just in the gym that we take care of this. In everyday life, pay attention to how you pick things up. Instead of using just your fingers, use your whole hand. This distributes the force better and avoids overloading the tendons. And when you have to carry something heavy, bend your elbows a little bit. Seems like nothing, but it makes all the difference in protecting the joint. Now let's talk about something that many people forget: eccentric work. You know when you're lowering the weight in a curl? This part is super important for strengthening the tendons. So when doing your exercises, focus on making the lowering part well controlled and slow. This strengthens the tendons in a way that no other movement can. And to finish, we can't forget about recovery. After the workout, a good stretching session and even an ice pack for 15 minutes can work wonders to prevent inflammation. Oh, and that good old forearm massage? Don't underestimate its power. Give your forearm muscles a good squeeze after your workout. Besides feeling awesome, it helps with circulation and recovery. Incorporate these exercises and tips into your routine. It might seem like a lot at first, but it'll soon become a habit. And believe me, your body will thank you. Strong, mobile, and healthy elbows mean better workouts and more consistent results. Let's get jacked, but jacked and healthy. Let's talk about recovery, because there's no point in training like a madman if you don't give your body a chance to recover and grow, right? So, sit tight, because I'm going to drop some precious tips for you to recover like a true athlete and keep those elbows far from tennis elbow. First thing, rest is law. I know you want to train every day, get huge fast, but slow down there, Hulk. Your body needs time to recover, especially those sensitive joints like the elbow. Try to give at least 1 day of rest between arm workouts. And no, rest doesn't mean lying on the couch all day. A bit of light movement, like a walk, can actually help with recovery by improving circulation. Now, let's talk about something everyone loves: sleeping. My friend, sleep is like a magic potion for your body. It's during sleep that most of the recovery and muscle growth happens. So none of this sleeping just 4 hours a night thinking you're crushing it. Aim for those 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Your body and your elbow will thank you. And speaking of thanking, how about giving some special attention to your elbow after the workout? An ice pack for about 15 to 20 minutes can work wonders to prevent inflammation. But be careful. Don't put the ice directly on your skin. Wrap it in a towel first. And since we're talking about post-workout care, let's talk about stretching. I know, everyone wants to leave right after working out. But dude, dedicating about 10 minutes to stretching can make all the difference in your recovery. Focus especially on the forearm and biceps muscles. That classic stretch where you extend your arm and pull your hand back? Well, it's great for relieving tension in the elbow tendons. Do it gently. Hold for about 30 seconds on each side. Now let's talk about nutrition. Yes, my friend, what you eat directly influences your recovery. After a workout, your body is begging for nutrients to recover. So go for that quality protein, whether it's a whey shake or a good meal with chicken, fish, or lean meat. And don't forget the carbs. They're essential for replenishing the energy you spent in the workout. A banana with peanut butter, for example, is a great post-workout option. And since we're talking about replenishment, hydration is key. It's not just during the workout that you need to drink water. Staying well hydrated throughout the day helps with muscle recovery and the health of your joints. Try to drink at least half a gallon of water a day, more if you sweat a lot during your workout. Your elbow will thank you for well-hydrated and flexible tendons. Another tip that many people forget: stress management. Yes, everyday stress can affect your recovery. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol, which can interfere with muscle recovery. So, try to include some relaxation techniques in your routine. It can be meditation, yoga, or even just listening to relaxing music. Your body and mind will thank you. And to finish, let's talk about something that might seem like a luxury, but makes all the difference: massage. If you can, invest in a good massage now and then, focusing on the arms and shoulders. This helps improve circulation, reduce muscle tension, and speed up recovery. If a professional massage isn't possible, you can do a self-massage on your forearms. Use a foam roller or even your thumbs to make circular movements on the muscles. Do this for about 5 minutes on each arm and feel the difference. So that's it, folks. Recovery is just as important as the workout itself. Incorporate these tips into your routine, and you'll see how your body responds better, not only avoiding injuries like tennis elbow, but also improving your gains. And remember, every body is unique, so pay attention to yours. If something isn't working well, don't hesitate to consult a professional. We want you strong, healthy, and training for a long time. We've reached the end of our journey on how to dodge this pesky tennis elbow and keep those elbows healthy so we can keep crushing our workouts. Let's do a quick recap. We talked about what this tricky injury is, the signs you need to watch out for, the risk factors that can take you down if you're not careful, killer strategies for prevention, how to strengthen and give that mobility to your arms, and of course, the golden tips for recovery. All of this so you can get jacked, but jacked smart and healthy. Always remember, your body is your most valuable tool in this fitness journey. Taking care of it isn't being soft, it's an investment. Every well-executed rep, every respected rest period, every moment dedicated to recovery, all of this adds up to help you reach your goals without stumbling. Tennis elbow can be a real pain in the ass, but now you're armed to the teeth to keep it far away from your gains. But hey, is the chat over? No way. The conversation's just beginning. I want to see you putting all of this into practice and coming back here to share the results. And speaking of coming back here, if this content helped you, do the following. Give that sweet like on the video. It helps the channel grow a ton. Oh, and it doesn't hurt, right? Hit that subscribe button down there. It's free, and you ensure you won't miss any of the killer content we're always bringing to you guys. And you know what else? Leave a comment telling us about your experience. Have you had problems with tennis elbow? Which tips did you find most useful? Or if you have any questions, throw them in the comments and we'll answer. Your participation is super important for us to know what's going down in your real lives. Oh, and don't forget to check out the first pinned comment down there. There are some killer links to products that'll help you achieve that dream physique. These are things I use myself and recommend, all designed to help you get strong, healthy, and with a body to be proud of. And speaking of content, don't stop here. Take a spin around the channel. There's a ton of awesome videos waiting for you. Want to know how to turbocharge your gains? There's a video about that. Want to learn about nutrition to get shredded? We've got that too. We're always bringing quality content to help you evolve more and more. So that's it, folks. Always remember, the goal isn't just to get strong, it's to get strong and healthy. Use this knowledge, respect your body, and let's get it. Together, we'll go far. This is Best Steel Muscles, where we transform sweat into muscles and knowledge into evolution. Until the next video, and let's get jacked.